Okay, so you're looking for that edge, right? Something to sharpen your focus, make smarter moves maybe, especially when, real money's involved in trading.
Absolutely. And today we're diving into a specific technique. It's one Mansi Suryawanshi brought up, Nadishodhan Pranayama.
Right, alternate nostril breathing. And she mentioned it specifically for traders, didn't she? Like nifty options or futures.
Exactly. Her trading tip 21 frames it not just as, a way to relax. It's rooted in Swaryog, yogic science generally.
Mhm.
And it's proposed as a practical tool for certain strategies. Think short strangles, the wheel strategy, things like that.
Okay. But we're going to look at it from all angles, right?
That's right.
Explore the potential benefits, but keep it, well, a balanced view.
Definitely.
Good. So think of this as like a quick way to understand if this maybe 5-minute technique could actually help with mental clarity, keeping emotions in check.
And maybe making better trading decisions.
Exactly. So let's jump in. Mansi points to better mental clarity, focus as a key benefit. How does that supposedly work?
Well, the core idea is that Nadishodhan helps balance the brain's hemispheres. It's about harmonizing breath flow through the Ida and Pingala nadis.
Ida and Pingala, those are linked to the left and right nostrils, right?
That's the concept. And interestingly, there's this natural nasal cycle. Our dominant nostril shifts maybe about every 90 minutes or so.
Huh. I never knew that. So Ida, left side, is more calm, intuition?
Traditionally, yes. And
Uh,
Pingala, the right side, is associated more with activity, logic, that kind of thing.
okay, so balancing those, I can see how that could lead to clearer thinking. If you're staring at charts, trying to figure out the ATR or the VIX.
Precisely. Or the put-call ratio. Having that balance might sharpen your interpretation.
Right, so imagine it's nearly 10 a.m., you're thinking of selling a nifty strangle, maybe 200 points out of the money.
Yeah.
Could doing this beforehand actually help you judge conditions better? Like, is the VIX really below 17? Is the ATR okay under 150?
That's the proposition. That enhanced clarity helps you assess those technicals more accurately. Or, say, for a wheel strategy.
Confirming support levels before selling a put.
Exactly. Avoiding a misread of the signals. Mansi also talks about stress, which, let's face it, is huge in trading.
Oh, definitely. Especially nifty futures, things
Mhm.
that move fast. That feeling of risk is, well, it's intense.
It is. And this is where Nadishodhan's link to the nervous system comes in. It's thought to activate the parasympathetic system.
The rest and digest system, right?
Right.
As opposed to fight or flight.
Exactly. Which, in theory, could help lower stress hormones like cortisol.
Okay, so less stress hormones swirling around.
Could mean less emotional decision making. How often does anxiety or impulsivity mess up a trade?
Too often, probably. Especially when the market's whipping around. Mansi had an example, right? Something about an RBI announcement.
Yeah, staying composed before a big event trade like a short straddle. The goal is to avoid that knee-jerk reaction.
Like panic selling just before your planned stop loss, say at 1500 loss.
Precisely. Sticking to your strategy because you're centered, not because you're freaking out.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, you mentioned Swaryog earlier. How does that fit in?
Right, Swaryog introduces this idea of balancing energy for better decisions. It's really about understanding the connection between your breath and your state of consciousness.
So balancing Ida, again, intuition and Pingala logic?
Yes, the aim is to activate what's called Sushumna Nadi. Think of it as a state of balanced awareness or consciousness
And that state would be good for trading because,
because you're potentially integrating both your gut feeling, your intuition, with your rational analysis, not just one or the other.
okay. So deciding whether to hedge your nifty positions if volatility spikes, maybe India VIX goes over 18.
Or adjusting a strangle that's gone against you. It's about making a more holistic decision.
Got it. Maybe weighing the technicals, ATR trends, against the market mood before jumping into a big nifty futures trade, like if you expect a 900-point move.
Exactly. Swaryog also digs into which nostril is dominant.
How does that affect things?
Well, the principle is that your dominant nostril influences your mental state. Right, nostril dominance might correlate with being more active, analytical.
Which sounds potentially better for executing a trade.
Often considered so, yes.
Yeah.
Left nostril dominance might be more reflective, passive. Nadishodhan can be used to sort of consciously reset or balance that dominance.
Interesting. So let's say it's 9:50 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You check your breath. Notice the left nostril feels more open.
Yeah.
Could a few minutes of alternate nostril breathing help shift that towards a more balanced or maybe right dominant state before you place that strangle trade at 10 a.m.?
That's the underlying theory, yes. Aiming for the optimal swara or breath flow for the action you're about to take.
Wow. Okay. And Mansi also touched briefly on other things, resilience.
Yeah, just mentions of potential benefits like increased resilience to market pressure, maybe through better oxygenation, heart rate regulation, and possibly even enhancing intuition for more discretionary trades.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The core idea from Mansi is that Nadishodhan might offer traders enhanced clarity
Reduce stress, more balanced decision making by integrating logic and intuition.
and even potentially aligning your kind of energetic state for trading.
That's the gist of it. Which leads to the question, really.
Yeah.
Could spending just 5 minutes on this simple breathing exercise before you trade, could that be a missing piece for you? Something to help navigate the markets with, a bit more calm and focus.
It's definitely food for thought. Something to consider trying out in your pre-trade routine, maybe see what happens.
And if you are intrigued, there are resources out there on pranayama, on swaryog, if you wanted to understand it more deeply.
Right. Worth exploring if it resonates.
Ultimately, finding what works for you, what helps you perform better in any field needing focus and good judgment.
Well, that's always a personal journey, isn't it?